welcome back to my channel. Now, as of probably only about 2015, I have become a self-confessed makeup addict. Before that, I wasn't particularly into makeup. I didn't really understand it. I couldn't put eyeshadow on for the life of me. I didn't know what contouring was or anything like that. But last year I dived in and I am now obsessed with eyeshadow. I can contour with the best of them. I wear so many different ranges of makeup. I buy so much, and as a result my collection probably tripled last year. Now I live like a couple of minutes walk away from both a Boots and a Superdrug, and as a result I go in there a hell of a lot and I buy a lot, and it just doesn't make sense to do a lot of makeup hauls because I buy in drips and drabs and I buy so many things. But it does make sense to do a Makeup Revolution collection video. Makeup Revolution is the best makeup brand on the high street in my opinion. I absolutely love it. I personally have never tried their lipsticks or nail varnishes or any liquid products. It's the powder ones and the palettes that I love. So I thought I would do a Makeup Revolution palette collection and show you all the palettes I've got. I've got them down here. I have about 10 palettes and they vary in kind of usage and everything, but basically overall they're amazing. So I thought I'd show you the ones I got, tell you kind of the good points of them, tell you why they're incredible, and this video is not even sponsored. That's how much I love this love this brand. Okay, I've got a bunch of boxes here from the brand as well because they all have big mirrors in, which is one of the reasons I love the palettes. The one I'm going to start with is the Makeup Revolution Highlight Palette. This is one of the most recent ones to my collection. It's got a lilac-y one, a peachy one, and a yellowy one, and it's kind of 3 highlighted tones. These are all so shimmery. I don't know if you can see that, but they're the most shimmery shades ever, and they just look amazing, and you get such a big amount of product as well. And as I said, they do all have these mirrors in here, which is another reason I absolutely love them. But yeah, they're so shimmery, and I love a good shimmer across the top of my cheekbones. You can see it here. And these just work really well, and I like that they kind of come in a range of shades because I never ever would have thought about a lilac-y highlighter, but it looks so good. This is one of my favourite ones, I think. I used to always use more yellowy or orangey tone ones, but the lilac looks incredible. Next up, I'm going to go to the blush palettes. Now I have 2 blush palettes. This one is the Hot Spice one. This is the newer of my 2 blush palettes, and this one has a lot more matte shades to it, whereas the other one I'm going to show you has shimmer, and these 2 are probably my favourite because they're more kind of the neutral ones, but they are so pigmented. You're not going to be able to see that, but I'll try and do some close-ups. But they also have these 2 shimmery shades. The only thing I don't like about this palette is that, I don't know if you can tell, but these 2 shades are exactly the same as these 2 shades, which kind of sucks because I would have felt that buying a new palette I would kind of I'd get some different shades, but these are only I think £6, so I still can't really complain. But in this set I usually use these kind of shades. Again, there's a lilac-y one which I never would have thought of using, but I absolutely love. I use this one more in the evening because it kind of gives a really good shimmer, and I'll usually use this one on my cheek and across the top of my cheekbone as well because these ones kind of just work really well. I've not really used these contouring ones around the top because, again, annoyingly they have repeated these ones in the contour palette. So this is kind of a bit of everything. So if you're looking for a one to try maybe for the first time, maybe pick up this one because it does take ones from this palette and the contour palette. But this was my favourite one for the majority of the year. I used it so much, and it was only when I kind of started to do more contouring that I started to use this one because I thought it went better with contour shades. Now this is the palette that has been the holy grail of my entire year, and it is the contour palette. It has a range of shades and 2 shimmery ones at the end. These ones I tend to avoid because, again, they're very similar to the ones in the blush palette, but these 6 are amazing. This is like an exact dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. It's got the exact same shades in it, and if I'm honest, it's just as good. I really love this shade. This is so good for paler skin. It just works so well, and I always feel like ashier tones look better when contouring because it's a bit more natural than maybe using more orangey toned ones. And this yellow here, the banana colour, is incredible. It works so well to kind of highlight your face when you're not kind of doing shimmery, so you like across your chin, top of your cheekbones and your forehead, and it just balances out the contour so well, and I'm obsessed with this. This was, I think, only £6, so it is kind of the best investment I made the entire year. Next up, I have a palette that I have not yet used. I was so desperate to get hold of this. I kind of searched everywhere and they kept not having it in store, so I think in the end I may have ordered it online. But it is the Colour Corrector palette. Now, I have no idea how to use this, which is one of the reasons I haven't used it yet, but I am going to do a bit of research and I do want to make a video on how to use this. From what I understand, on the colour chart you have kind of the opposing colours. So for example, if you were to have like a red spot, you would use the colour of the opposite end of the colour chart, which is a green, which would be like this, to put over it, and that should colour correct it and cancel it out and make it more neutral, meaning that if you have like bags under your eyes or scarring or just discoloured areas on your face, this is meant to help balance that out and kind of make you have a more of an even complexion. And after you put your foundation on, you can't obviously tell that you're wearing all these kind of bright colours. So I'm really, really excited to try this. I just haven't got around to it yet, but I will make a video when I figure out how to use this. But this was, again, I think £6, so I'm blown away that you can get this for that amount of money. Next up is another favourite of the year, and this is one I did have to order online because I didn't see it in any stores, and it is the Protection Professional Makeup Palette. It looks like this, and in it you have a highlight, a blush, a contour, a powder, and 3 concealers. And this is the palette that I throw in my bag when I go out because it's like super thin and like it kind of folds away, and you know, that fits in a clutch bag really, really easily. And I use this every time I go out, because when you go out and you always throw those kind of odd bits of makeup in your bag, you might throw like a concealer in there and a powder if you get really like hot and sweaty, if you're like out clubbing or something. And this kind of just has it all in, and these are kind of a roundup of some of the best products. I was skeptical at first about the concealers because, you know, so many concealers are crap, like, honestly. But these are really, really good. I really, really like these. And this has just kind of been the best thing when I go out, that I can kind of touch up my makeup really easily and quickly. I have really, really, really oily skin, meaning that my makeup kind of melts away very, very quickly. So if you have oily skin, this is like the best thing for you to get. And this was £4. So yeah, you literally cannot go wrong with this palette. I am going to throw in my first disappointment of the palettes, of the ones I own, and that is the Ultra Brow palette. I've got the medium to dark one, but personally it just really doesn't suit me. Like, I don't know if maybe I got the wrong shade. Let me just cover the mirror. It comes with like a brush, a pair of tweezers, the little pencil, and then it's got a highlight, a concealer, and 6 eyebrow colours. I have really dark roots and really dark eyebrows, meaning that I usually have quite black eyebrow products. These are just far too orangey for my skin. This one I thought would be dark enough, but it does come out very orangey, so I'm not a massive fan of this. I have recently got some of my friends hooked on Makeup Revolution, and this was one of the first ones she bought, and she absolutely loves it. She thinks it's incredible, but for me it's just not one of my favourite ones. The concealer is incredible. I use this in the inner corner of my eyes a lot because it's very, 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 very pale. So these two products I would really recommend, but for me these just have never worked. So make sure, if you can, you go into store and test out the shades, because they don't come off the same as you would see them in the palette. Next up, I have 2 of the eyeshadow palettes. I own 2 of this kind, and I have the Redemption palette Iconic 3 and the Redemption palette Essential Shimmers. These are £4, and these don't come with a mirror, but I think it's because they're a couple of pounds cheaper. They usually come with a sponge brush, but I don't really use that. I use like actual bristly brushes to do my eyeshadow. This one is my favourite one out of all of them. I really like orangey toned eyeshadows, and this one is perfect. It's got some really nice kind of neutral browns and neutral pinky ones at the top, and I've been using this one the most. This shade is a really good base at the end, and the pigmentation of these is incredible. This is the other one that I've got. It's very, very similar to the other one, but it's a kind of a bit more browny. These have got a lot more browny tones, whereas the other one's a lot more pink. This is the one I had first, and this is kind of the reason I bought the other one. This one's also a lot more shimmery than the other one, so the other one's got a lot more mattes in it. But these palettes are honestly incredible, and I use this over my Naked palettes so much. The Urban Decay palettes are like known as being some of the best eyeshadows, but I honestly use these so much more. There's a much bigger variety, there's so many more shades, and they're so cheap, and they last just as long, they pile on just as thick, and they're just incredible. If there's a palette you want to go buy for your first one, it should be an eyeshadow one, because they are just so, so good. The last palette that I have is the first palette I ever bought, and it is the Ultra Professional Eyeshadow Flawless palette. This is the biggest palette I own. You get 32 eyeshadows and they're also pigmented. I got the shimmer one, but you can also get this exact same version in matte, which is also really, really good. She got everything you could ever use. If you've never used eyeshadow before, I'd recommend getting this because you've got like the lighter all the way through to the darker shades, and you can really, really experiment with this palette, but it's just so good. Again, the payoff is incredible and I absolutely love this. Anyway, that is all the palettes that I have. It now looks like a complete mess down by my legs, but yeah, I absolutely love Makeup Revolution, so if you loved any of these products, please go out and get them and try them because they are so good. As I said, this isn't sponsored, this is just my general opinion, and and I absolutely love the brand. So thank you so much for watching. Please give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you've never watched any of my videos before, and I will be uploading some videos using these palettes in other looks and everything. Bye!